Good morning. Good morning. Happy Thursday. I am so glad to see everybody. Today is March 3rd, 2022. Welcome to this week's edition of When Life Needs a Detox, My Life with Multiple Sclerosis. My name is Carol White. I am your host and your life detox strategist. I have a couple of personal items I want to deal with first. I want to wish one of my most supportive followers and friends, Jill Schumacher, a very, very happy and speedy recovery. She had neck surgery on Monday to help with her mobility. Jill is an MS fighter, same as I am, but she has more mobility issues. So, with this surgery that she's just had, her mobility should increase, it should get better, and Jill will have a much easier time of getting around. So, Jill, I love you. I know I was supposed to call you yesterday, but you got out of the hospital yesterday, and I just wanted you to rest, but I will be calling you today. Also, on a sadder note, please keep a very good friend of mine, Sharon Brackle Grubbs, in your prayers. She lost her husband this week, and she was one of my closest friends and colleagues at work. And she is just a phenomenal woman. Please keep her in your prayers as I keep her in mine. Okay, that's the personal stuff. Let's get to today's topic. For Lent, I'm giving up, giving up. Now, we all say this. There's the New Year's resolution that within the first 17 days, everybody's going to falter and fail on, me included. But the problem with starting and stopping or just giving up is that we become very, very comfortable with failure. MS fighters can't get comfortable with failing. We can't give up. And what I mean by this is a lot of times we'll start with the exercises. And I'm speaking about me. Yes, I am. We start out strong with exercising and we're getting into it, but we always get hung up on what used to happen with our exercises. My hand is having a little few issues today, so you'll find me just manipulating it a little bit today. But, we go back to, well, when I was in my 20s, I could lose weight. When I was in my 30s, it wasn't as hard. Even in my 40s, before my diagnosis, well, you know what? Your diagnosis changed everything. You have to stop living in your past in order to embrace and improve your present. So you can't give up because your past says we did it this way. That's not where you are. Now, to help myself, I joined Deb Gunter's 31-day hard challenge. This is a pretty good program. Now, it's 31 days. It started March 1st on Fat Tuesday. Yes, indeed, on Fat Tuesday. But this program is 31 days, and it requires you to exercise 45 minutes a day. It requires you to have a schedule, a dedicated meal plan, i.e., you do the Mediterranean diet. A lot of people are doing Hello Fresh, but not something that you made up or just is on the fly. You have a dedicated strict diet that you're committed to. You also have to read a book. I think it's 10 minutes a day, which is not a lot. So basically, what they're doing is telling you have to sit down and take some time to relax and just take time for yourself, just downtime. Now, the thing is, any aspect of the diet plan that you miss, you have to go back to day one. Now, oh, and also you have to take a before picture and an after picture. So you have to take the day one picture and you have to take a day 31 picture. I'm going to explain the few problems I had with this that I had to really pray on and meditate for. Number one was actually doing the program. I didn't know if I could. I didn't know if I should. I just didn't know. But I looked at it simply as what I'm doing is fine. I'm doing the therapy. And actually, I hadn't been in therapy because when I had COVID, I couldn't go to therapy. Then after I was cleared of COVID, I was still very weak and fatigued. So there was no point to going to therapy because I couldn't make it through the sessions. So I just started back with therapy maybe 2 weeks ago. So I've had downtime of at least 3 weeks where nothing was done. So my body pays the price. And now I just had to sit back, pray, meditate, and say, you know what? You have got to do something different to get different results. What you're doing ain't working. That was the first thing, was to decide to do it at all. The second thing were the diet plans. I, I am a career dieter. I have been dieting since I hit puberty because puberty hit me like a ton of bricks and I gained weight very, very fast. So I've dieted all my life. I've never stuck to a diet simply because diets were short term. They're only supposed to last 3 to 4 weeks. And then I can go back to eating whatever I want. Well, that doesn't work for me anymore. So now I looked at all of the diets that I have ever been on in the last 8 years. I couldn't go back that far. I found the aspects of those diets that I liked and put them together and created a meal plan. Looks like it's going to work out pretty good. So I'm hopeful. Third thing was exercise. Well, I had exercise for 2 days of the week locked. I go to therapy. I have an hour of therapy. That's my exercise. So 2 days out of the week, I've got it. But here's the thing. I can exercise at home. I have Deb's challenge that I can repeat. I have Dom Thorpe. I still have access to his videos. There are exercise videos just on TikTok of just plain people, same as me, working out and getting great results. But guess what? They're actually doing the work. So I have a multitude of exercise options. That made it easier. But you know what was really, really hard for me? The picture. Taking the picture. Because here was the thing. Deb said, take a day one picture. She said, try to show some skin. And I looked at this and I'm like, oh, for real? Me, show skin. I'm trying to lose weight. But here's the thing. You have to be accepting of who you are at this moment in time, if you're going to change it, you have to accept your bumps, your bubbles, your scars, your bruises, your dimples. You have to be accepting of it, because in order to look at it and accept it, you can then make the decision. These are the things I'd like to change about me. Not for somebody else, but for yourself. And finally, there was a catch. If during the challenge you miss any specification in a day, you got to go back to day one. That threw me. That really threw me, because if you look at it, the way people think, you got to go back and start over. People see this as punishment, and they see it as failure. Well, okay, you failed to meet the mark. Okay, but most people, when you fail, they just drop you. This is giving you the chance to do it over. You're not big, you can't see starting over as a penalty. It's not a penalty. You're getting a do-over. Do-overs aren't penalties. They're reprieves. So if you falter, if you stumble and fall, you have a reprieve. You get to do it over. No one's dropping you from the program. You got to do it over. You get the do-over, and that is the best thing in the world, is for somebody to give you the grace to start over. So this started on March 1st. Well, I had to do a do-over. So I'm actually on my day 2. Yes, I lost the first day. I had a blinding headache that I could not get rid of. I could barely see. I could barely get my head off the pillow. So this took out March 1st. It just wiped it clean. But guess what? I got a do-over. So my first day was yesterday, March 2nd. I am on day 2. And so far, so good. I will keep you all posted as to how this is going for me. I won't hold you long on any of these days, but I'll let you know how it's going, or if I had to have a reprieve. But for this 31 days, I am not focusing on the weight loss. I'm focusing on maintaining my commitment to me. And that is all I have for today. But for Lent, I am giving up. As long as I can get a reprieve, I never have to give up. And I can always give myself a reprieve. Listen, that's it for today. My name is Carol White. I want to thank you so very much for joining me for When Life Needs a Detox, My Life with Multiple Sclerosis. I'm going to see you back here next week. I love you to the moon and back. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye now.